Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tommy, and of course I am with Z Grills, and today's show is going to be all about taking that ordinary cheesesteak and turning it into an extraordinary cheesesteak. What I want to do here is we've got a little bit of prep work to do. Let's turn our attention down to the board and let's start the show. So this one's going to get started with a simple horseradish sauce that is going to start out with a half a cup of mayo, follow it up with some sour cream, some prepared horseradish sauce, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and also salt and pepper to taste. As I am incorporating that together, do not forget that this full recipe can be found down in the description, so you can follow that and pick up exactly what you need. So once we get that all mixed up, we will get that in the fridge to start the chilling process. So let's turn our attention back to the board. We have a little bit of more prep work to do before we turn our attention to the steak, and it is going to start with an onion and some jalapeños. So anytime I am getting ready to build something special like today's sandwich, I do find at times less is more. It is for that reason I am going to go with some red onions and also jalapeno as mentioned. And I will start out with these onions by just doing about a 1/4 inch slices. We want to keep them in the ring form. We do not want to dice them. We do not want to chop them up. Once I get them all sliced up, I have a hot plate on standby. I will get a little bit of olive oil in that hot plate. Then I will put the onions in the hot plate. At that point, I've got some salt. We will hit it with that. I've got some black pepper, in she goes. And I will finish that off with some granulated garlic. Once I get that all done, I will just put that on the side. Next up is gonna be our jalapenos. Now I am definitely looking for a little bit of a bite in this sandwich, so I'm gonna leave the seeds in. You can remove them if you'd like. And again, we wanna keep them in the ring form, and it is gonna be about 1/8 of an inch to a 1/4 inch slices. We will get those all sliced up. Again, I've got another hot plate. A little bit of olive oil on the bottom, in goes the jalapenos. Follow that up with the same thing, salt, pepper, granulated garlic. And again, we will just get those there on the side. So once that is done, we've got one more thing to do, and that is gonna be prepping our steak. So my steak of choice for this recipe is gonna be a picanha. If you cannot find a picanha, you could use a tri-tip. And I gotta tell you, finding a picanha is definitely worth it. It is one of the most beefiest steaks you can get. And when I say beefy, I mean in flavor. So basically what we are gonna do here is get that out of the package. Now we do have a little bit of trimming to do. Also, we will flip it and get that silver skin off. Now on that fat cap, you can leave as little or as much as you want. I am gonna take that down for this recipe to about 1/8 of an inch or so. If I was just gonna run these out in steaks, I would leave it a little bit more than that, maybe a 1/4 inch. But for these sandwiches, 1/8 of an inch is gonna be fine, as a little bit of fat is definitely flavor. So once we get that fat cap down to where I like it, we are gonna score the top of it and then cross score it the other way. The reason being is I am gonna get this brushed down with some olive oil, and when I hit it with my salt, pepper, and granulated garlic, I want it to get inside the meat as much as possible. So as I am doing it, I will pick it up and let it bend. And do not forget to put a little bit of olive oil on, and then you can hit it with your seasonings of choice. And I gotta tell you, man, this picanha is definitely looking good. I gotta keep it rare to medium rare. That is gonna be key for a sandwich like this. So once we get that all rubbed down, we got it all seasoned up, it is all cleaned up, we will let it sit here on the board while she will start to sweat it out a little bit. At this time, what I wanna do is go back and turn my attention to the Z Grill, because it is time to fire it up. So guys, firing up your Z Grills could never be more simple. Just remember, this is gonna be a high heat cook, so we are gonna wanna set that dial to about 425 to 450. And always remember, when you first fire up the Z, you wanna open up that hood, you want all that smoke to dissipate. Once it is just about done, you can shut that hood and allow your pit to come up to temp. So this cook is going to get started at about 400 and a quarter. We will get our onions in, we will get our jalapenos in. You want to put those in on the upper rack. Important to note here, you are going to get your picanha right in, or your steak of choice in. You want to go right directly over that burn pot, as you want to get the most heat to the protein as you can. And we will shut that down and just allow it to go for about 7 to 10 minutes. At that time, I will bring you guys back. So my Z-Grill is really starting to pick up steam now. I would say we are up and over that 450 mark, 7 minutes without even looking. Two things here. One, we're trying to build a little bit of crust on that protein, and also our onions and our jalapenos are good enough. We will get those off, we will get those on the side, and we will just shut it down and let it go for about another 5, 6, 7 minutes. At that time, I will bring you guys back. So we are about a 17-minute cooking time right now, and as you could see, we are building up a nice color. That fat is rendering out, that fat is dripping into that meat. That is exactly what you want. All that is gonna be flavor. So basically what you want to do here is you are just going to cook it to the temp you want. And I got to tell you, man, I am excited, man. That Z-Grill is really pumping up some heat. The more heat you can get on that meat, the more flavor you are going to get. And as you could see, as we temp it, we are about 107 or so, and that is getting close for me. I will shut it down and let it go probably for no longer than 5 minutes. At that time, I will bring you guys back. So this one's gonna clock in right under 20 minutes. Remember, this is about a 3.5 inch chunk of beef. So it is definitely gonna take a little bit of time to get to that temp that you want it. And in my case, I am shooting for that medium rare. And I gotta tell you, I am definitely digging the color. Those who say you can't grill with a Z-Grill, I mean, look at the color of that meat. Look at the grill marks. That is, well, that is absolutely gorgeous. That is for sure. I will get that off. I'm going to get it here on the board where I will foil it up. I am going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. You want those juices to settle. At that time, I will bring you guys back. We will slice it open and we will build us the ultimate steak sandwich. Alrighty, so after a 10-minute rest, we've got some juice on the board, and that is always a good thing. You're gonna need a sharp knife for this part here as we start slicing it right to the end, and that is looking quite perfect for me. As we get into the middle, she will pinken up a little bit more. I would say that is a perfect medium rare. That is gonna make the ultimate steak sandwich all that much better. We will just continue to slice it, and remember how not so hard we worked how to get to this point. Once we get all that sliced up, I will get that moved to the side, and it is time to build our sandwich. First up, I am going to put a bed of peppery arugula down. That is going to give us a little bit of extra added crunch, and from there I will gently lay that steak right on the top. Oh my God, this is definitely looking good. Once we get the amount of steak on there that we want, we are going to hit it with a little bit of bed of onions, follow that up with some jalapenos. I am not going to over jalapeno it. I just want a little bit of a bite. At that point, there is nothing left to do but to grab our chilled horseradish sauce and gently get it on the top. Grab that crown and crown it, guys. That is the ultimate steak sandwich right there. Leave me down in the description. Let me know what your ultimate steak sandwich is. So what I want to do here now is let's turn this in live. We got to do that taste test. We got to talk about it, and we definitely got to close out the show. So look, that is going to be your steak sandwich right here, and if you do decide to make this, I can guarantee you one thing: you will not want to make another steak sandwich any other way besides this. Let's give it a little cut open. And of course, she cuts like butter. She's got everything you would want in a steak sandwich. I got a little bit of a bite with that jalapeno. If you don't want a bite, just leave it out. I mean, you could put anything from a any type of pickling, a pickling onion. You could put any types of flavors on this steak sandwich that you would like. These are my flavors, so that is what I went with. Let's get that taste test. Cheers. You know, right off the bat, I gotta say, do not discount this arugula. I mean, that is a lot of added flavor in there. The one I put a little pepper, made it a kind of like a pepper arugula. That is awesome. I went with the the basic horseradish. That is what I like. You can put any type of sauce on there that you would like, or you could leave the sauce off if you'd like that. Also, you could put some peppers. I mean, there are so many different combinations that you can do. And of course, if you cannot find that picanha, you can use a tri-tip. You could use a top sirloin. There are a different couple options that you got. But if you can find the picanha, I would definitely go with that. I mean, that is one of the best tasting steaks you can get. I mean, it is very beefy in flavor, and that is exactly what you want. I mean, this is a 10 out of 10. There is no doubt about it. Do not forget, everything will be down in the description. Also, Z-Grills will have this blogged out. You go right to the website, print exactly what you want, and definitely you're gonna wanna make this. And also, do not forget Z-Grills Facebook page, their Instagram account, and of course, this YouTube channel right here. You follow all them, and Z-Grills will have you smoking, have you grilling all year long. So look, that is gonna be it for this show. I appreciate all you guys watching. Again, my name is Tommy, and until next time, we will see you soon.